Number 1 on this list nearly erased one of the most iconic characters in television history before she ever appeared on screen, and by the end of this video, you'll never watch these shows the same way again. Number 5. Before Seinfeld became one of the most successful sitcoms ever made, it almost died after a single airing. The pilot, originally titled The Seinfeld Chronicles, was shown to 400 test households, and the reaction was brutal. The network memo said, quote, "No segment of the audience was eager to watch the show again, and that none of the supporting characters were liked at all." NBC executives called it one of the weakest test scores in the network's history and initially refused to order a full season. It was only saved because one executive, Rick Ludwig, personally redirected part of his own budget, canceling a Bob Hope special to fund just 4 more episodes. That tiny order became the smallest season in American television history, and it's the only reason Jerry, George, Elaine, and Kramer ever got a second chance. Number 4. When Breaking Bad was first being cast, AMC did not see Bryan Cranston as their leading man. The network's early conversations centered on 2 much bigger film stars, John Cusack and Matthew Broderick. Insiders say both were approached about playing a mild-mannered chemistry teacher turned drug kingpin, and both passed on the project. That opened the door for creator Vince Gilligan to fight for Cranston, an actor the network mostly associated with the goofy dad from Malcolm in the Middle. Gilligan had seen Cranston play a much darker role on The X-Files years earlier and knew he could handle it. Cranston went on to win 4 Emmys for the role, a part that, according to the show's own production history, almost went to someone else entirely. Number 3. The Sopranos almost had a completely different Tony. Before James Gandolfini was cast, series creator David Chase had his heart set on musician Steven Van Zandt. Yes, the guitarist from Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band, who had 0 acting experience at the time. Chase was so convinced Van Zandt had the right presence that he actually got him an audition. HBO said no, worried that a total newcomer couldn't carry an entire series. Van Zandt was instead cast as Tony's loyal consigliere, Silvio Dante, a role that made him famous anyway. But by his own account years later, if HBO had said yes, The Sopranos would have become a very different, much more comedic show.
Number 2. Courtney Cox almost played a completely different friend. When Friends was casting in 1994, producers brought Cox in specifically to read for Rachel Green, the role that eventually made Jennifer Aniston a household name. But after reading the script, Cox felt a much stronger pull toward Monica Geller instead, and asked to switch. At the time, the part of Monica had actually been written with a different actress in mind. The producers agreed to let Cox try out for Monica, which meant the search for Rachel started over, and Jennifer Aniston, who had just turned down a spot on Saturday Night Live, walked into the role that would define her career. Number 1, and this is the one I mentioned at the top. Games of Thrones as we know it almost didn't exist. HBO actually filmed an entire pilot episode back in 2009, and it starred a completely different cast in 2 of the show's most important roles. Daenerys Targaryen was originally played by actress Tamsin Merchant, not Emilia Clarke. Catelyn Stark was played by Jennifer L., not Michelle Fairley. When HBO executives watched the finished pilot, they hated it so much that they ordered a near total reshoot. Roughly 90% of the episode was scrapped and redone with a new director. Along the way, both lead actresses were replaced. Elle stepped away for personal reasons after having a baby, while producers decided Merchant's chemistry with her co-star just wasn't landing. That original unaired pilot has never been publicly released, which means somewhere in a vault there's a completely different beginning to one of the biggest shows ever made. Which one of these caught you off guard? Let me know in the comments, and if you want more hidden entertainment history like this, subscribe, because next time we're going behind the scenes of 10 more movie secrets studios never wanted you to see.